Good afternoon. My name is Kathy Lazaro, and I am conducting a simulated edTPA video, and it is on a lesson for parallel circuits for a ninth grade class. The classroom is a 12 to 1 to 1. All of the students have learning disabilities. Some of the students, in addition to learning disabilities, have ADD. One student has a diagnosis of dyslexia, dysgraphia. This student has documentation and also has his own laptop with word prediction on it. And we also have a student with hearing disabilities, and I wear the FM unit for him. Because of the varying disabilities, I use different learning modalities so students can grasp and understand the lesson. The lesson today is the essential question I have posted here: what uses do parallel circuits have, and why are they so important? The behavioral objective is students will use academic language and science literacy while creating parallel circuit in groups. Academic language is accountable talk, and it's good for crossing all contents in education and to take them further into their career and college careers later on. The problem is, and I use problem instead of goal because this is a science lesson, how can we create a circuit that has two paths? After I usually go over the vocabulary with the students before the lesson. They're listed on the board, but they are also given a complete list of the unit vocabulary. And for homework the night before we do the lesson, they are to highlight the words and read the words and go over them. We go over them in class right before the lesson. I also have listed here the New York State Learning Standards for Math, Science, and Technology. They are standard for this lesson, standard 2, 4, and 5. And the Common Core State Standards in ELA Literacy for 9th grade, because for homework, since we integrate content areas, and we are going to do for homework a compare and contrast essay on the differences and similarities of series and parallel circuits. Also listed here have the science safety rules, which are important, pertinent for when we're doing lab. I go over this in the beginning of the term, and also each month we go over it and before a lab experiment. Today we're going to use some technology, the smart board or the iPad. I have technology and equipment guidelines listed here. Handling the equipment carefully, let the teacher know if the unit is not working, no eating or drinking near the equipment, only education related and approved websites, and power off the equipment and return to the proper location. So as we start the lesson, I will distribute, the children will be making diagrams in their notebooks. They will do this separately at their desk, and then they will break into groups. As groups, each group will select the best diagram that they believe will produce parallel circuit with more than one path for the electrons to flow. Once they select the best diagram, they will come up and get supplies, wires, batteries, clips, bulbs, and they will create their own parallel circuit. Each student, once their parallel circuit is lit, will get a chance to make a parallel circuit. I will ask the children questions for understanding. For example, what did you notice during this experiment? Why would a series circuit not be used in a building? What happens if we remove a wire from one side of the battery? What happens if we removed one bulb, one or two of the bulbs? If we use 3 bulbs, will the dimness or brightness be affected? How is the parallel circuit different from a series circuit? And so on. With these questions, and because it's an LD environment, we do have a lot of wait time. I give the students plenty of time to think about their answers, to repeat the question, and so on. When we are finished, they will understand that parallel circuits have more than one path and are more advantageous in homes and businesses. As part of a review and as an additional instructional supplement, students will use the smart board and take turns making parallel circuits using switches and test the results using 1 to 3 bulbs. And that will conclude my lesson.